Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Shali Genga. Welcome to Ignite podcast. I know it has been a while, but good things come eventually. Today, I have a wonderful guest. I think she's family. Yeah? I think I can define her as family. She's one of my sister's closest friend. And I do hope that whatever we do say today will inspire you, will light a flame, will set you on a path for self-evaluation and just to set you on a good path. The theme for the season 2, is living fearlessly. And we've been bringing guests who we believe live fearlessly. And I'll give Eve a chance to introduce herself.
All right. My name is Eve Kibare. I am a girl. I feel like my spirit will remain a girl forever. And yes, I am blind. I lost my sight 5 years ago after having a blood clot in my brain. And it kind of redirected my life into a different direction. You know, the way I had one thing, like I think it was 2019 when I had my thoughts like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want my life to go. And then 2020 comes. I'm like, yes, things are looking up because of my business. I was running a business. I also wanted to start a communication consultancy. And I was still in film production. So I'm like, yeah, these things are going to make this new decade is going to come with new things. And then I fell sick, and within 5 months, between June and November, I lost my sight completely. And it completely threw me off. Like, okay, so what was the point of me doing all the things that I did before if now I cannot be able to do them at all because of lack of sight? And it sort of it made me have to think of myself differently. So it's like now introducing myself, I can't just say, hey, I'm a film producer, or hey, I'm an entrepreneur. So I just say I'm a person. I'm a human being living this life a day at a time and discovering new things. So I'm a life explorer.
Yeah, and welcome. We welcome you. And just in line with the theme, I know that maybe the way you, like you're saying, like the way you live your life has changed. How do you, is living fearlessly different for you? Or how would you define, how does Eve live fearlessly, let's say now in 2026? Yeah.
So living fearlessly for me is it's living by faith. And faith in this regard is knowing that things are going to work out, and you don't know how, but you just know they're going to work out. So one of the things I could mention is in 2022, end of 2022, I had my second surgery. They were removing the shunt that was put in my brain to reduce the cranial fluid that was forming because of the blood clot. And now it was making me uncomfortable, so I got it removed. And I think after that, I was so low, and I felt like my life has come to a complete standstill. And I was like, is this it? Like, I survived Kenyatta. I survived I survived so many things, the pain, the agony. For this was it? This is the life? No, I don't think so. So I took a chance and I decided to move out on my own.
Like how, that's mind-boggling even for me. Like, did you just wake up one day and just say, what led up to it, and were you scared? Like, what motivated you to decide? After how long? Okay, I know that you say that you lost your sight within a span of 5 months. How old were you?
I was 31.
So you were 31, and
Yeah.
usually by the time you're 31, you're an adult.
Yeah, you've already set in your ways.
So you're set in your ways, and you've set this plan for yourself. So after 5 months, now did you have to move back home? Because I'm guessing, because you're running your business, you're doing film, and you're doing all these things. Were you living on your own?
Yes, I was living on my own. Had been living on my own for about 7 years. So
did you go back home?
I didn't go to my mom's. I lived in with my sister. And for 2 years, I was like a painting on the wall. I felt like a painting on the wall.
Explain that.
Like everything is. The thing is, I realized it's just me who's lost my sight, and that's what grief does. Yeah, when you lose someone, something, it's just you. Everybody else is moving on.
Okay.
And remember, 2020 was COVID, and it took it. There was curfew up until 2022. That's when things started looking up and moving ahead. So you find during that period, I've lost my sight. I'm calling people, and people have gotten married, people have gotten divorced, people have gotten kids, people have gotten promotions, people have moved out of the country, people have moved into, like, life has gone on, and I am stuck in bed. I don't even want to wake up because when I wake up, I remember I'm blind. When I sleep and dream, I dream in color, I dream in pictures, I dream like I am still the Eve that
Still
I
the same,
knew.
yeah.
So
how are your family, what was like your family's reaction? I know that a lot of times family can also not know how to maybe handle it.
Yes.
What did you sense? Or
my family, first, my sister, I think, just went into this is not my fight. I have other things to deal with. I have children. Let me move on with that. My mom is like, me, I don't think I can handle this. So she would handle the things that she could handle. For example, taking me to hospital, but it was more like automation. So I felt like it's just me. This is only happening to me. Nobody gave me the emotional support. Like, hey, we've realized that your life has come to a standstill. So there was no acknowledgement of, we don't know what to do, but hey, let's try figure this out together. No, it was, hey, we don't know what to do. You let us know. And then everyone moves on. So the people who kept me sort of anchored were friends who, as they're also going through their own motions, they're like, if I know this is very confusing, I don't even know. In fact, Chloe was one of those people who gave me that sort of anchor, because she was like, what do blind people do for fun? And I also don't know, like, but I'm trying to Google and find out what people are doing, like what is happening, because I understand you're bored out of your mind, and
I can imagine 2 years not being able to do
stuff.
anything.
First of all, the first year was, I don't know how to, I can't use my phone because I'm only used to using my phone with vision. And now I can't. And when you figure it out, it's there's so much technology, but you're living with people who have moved on. Like they're not there to figure this out with you. And when you mention, it's like, me, I don't know. I can't help you. Me, I also don't know those things. So,
do you think that sometimes people are, the discomfort or maybe not knowing how to be there for you is what makes people maybe withdraw or act like they don't care as much as you'd like them to? Do you think it's that the discomfort of, or the unknown of it, because it was like new territory? And it was something that maybe, I think a lot of people, I'm sure even maybe amongst your friends, it wasn't just like family members, just wondering, how do we handle this? What do we do? And I think that a lot of times people now don't do anything. They just try and make it, pretend like it never happened, or let's just move on. Yes, that word, let's just move on.
I think from a neurological point of view is that this is a brain pattern that is it's not there. It doesn't exist at all. And so when person sees like a challenge, you look at that challenge and you're like, I don't think I have the capability to form a brain pattern in that regard, because I already have so many other things. Your body is already used to your brain is used to a certain routine and pattern. And this is absolutely, completely foreign. You don't have any insight, nothing whatsoever. It's like when somebody brings you food you've never, ever imagined of eating, your first reaction is not like, oh, yay, looks delicious. No, it's like,
what is this?
Why would I be eating that? And you look, you get so, oh, no. Unless it's colored, it's put in a familiar setting, or it looks familiar, is when you will lean into the food. So even for me, and my experience was that a lot of people, first of all, I read this from a book called Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor. I said 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think, and 95% of people would rather die than think.
Yeah, okay.
So majority of the people were reacting to, I would rather die than having to process that information. That's too foreign for me.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of us are very we are comfortable in our routines, in our habits, in our way of thinking. So very few people were willing to take that
journey with you.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is just, and it's like it's a choice also. It is a choice that somebody makes, because there are people who, this is too foreign, but I'm willing to learn. This is too foreign, because I was also learning it. It's foreign for me too. It's not like I had a manual before,
that's true.
like, hey, this is how to live as a blind person. But I had to learn. I had to take that journey and decide that, hey, this is going to be one of the best journeys I am going to experience. So living fearlessly is just me choosing, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how this happens, but I believe the universe is bigger than myself. It has more information that I have as an individual. It has, and I believe in the universe as a collective, all of us as a collective, all creation as a collective. And so I'm like, the universe has more information than I have as an individual. So it probably has the information of other people who've lived as blind people, and there's information that I cannot tap into at the moment, but I would manifest it into my life. Like,
did you reach that conclusion? I'm sure, because the first year was difficult, and you were just observing and maybe just trying to wrap your head around it. The second year, what happened that eventually made you say, was it accepting it? Because I know that a lot of times people say, once you accept and realize, was there denial, like, is there a possibility that this could change? Does that keep you stuck? What would you, from your own experience, or do you have to decide, okay, this is my portion, this is what I have right now, how do I make it work? I need to leave and start my life, huh?
So first, I wasn't in denial of my loss of sight. That decision of, I'm blind, and this is clearly looks like this is going to be the next phase in my life. I don't know for how long, but I'm just going to live, going with the flow. I made that decision, in November 2020, not after, like, I woke up like 5, 6, 7 times, and I realized my sight is really gone.
Oh, that was the second year?
That's the first 5 months in. That's the first time I wake up and I put my hands in front of my eyes, and I'm like, you guys, I think I'm not seeing at all. This thing is really like, it's going. And I had thought of dying by suicide, because I had so many pills. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to live this life. What is there for me? I can't be a film producer because I'm blind. Who's going to hire a blind film producer? I can't even run my business because I'm blind. I can't see. So do I take the pills? And then the inside voice told me, girl, you're just gonna be more disabled. Like, you're not gonna die. And I'm like, why? I want to. And they're like, yeah, but it's not your time. We're not done. So it's like, okay, fine. Since I'm not dying, and my body was getting better, actually, my body was getting healthier. It's just that I was losing my sight.
It was a gradual process.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of had to sit myself down. I'm like, you know what? The universe is intelligent. Like, there's so much information and intelligence within the universe. And if this is my path, this is how I'm going to live the rest of my life, then I guess that information will somehow come to me. It will connect me to people beyond myself right now. Because I am here in an urban village in Nairobi, and I am confused and all of us are confused, but I believe the universe has that information and people who will hold my hand as I'm walking this birth, and I'm going to have the most fantastic blind life ever. I'm going to travel, I'm going to do all the things that I want to do. So let me just look at it as a new adventure.
How long was it from the time you made that decision to the time you are like,
I'm moving
okay,
out. So it's a bit, it's like you make that decision and then you shut down,
Yeah, okay.
because there's what your environment, there's everybody reacting and responding to your loss of sight. There's also your body and your mind adjusting to the new normal. Then now after the surgery, I was really deflated, and I'm like, and then I remember it was Christmas morning. I was so depressed. And my sister and the kids were waking up to go to church for like there was a church, like a Christmas thing.
Was that the first Christmas?
No, that was the third. So I'm hearing people moving about, and I'm still recovering from my surgery. And I could not believe this is Christmas, and I feel like this. I felt like I didn't even want anybody to text me Merry Christmas. I felt like you're insulting the day. You're insulting me. I didn't want to hear any text. I didn't want any calls. But the funny thing is that 2 years in, I mean, people have stopped calling as much. You have very few people on your radar. So I remember going to the sitting room, and I was dragging myself out of bed, and I sit in the sitting room. My mom was around because she was there during the surgery and even before. So she looked at me and she was like, I don't think this is how you should be living your life. And I looked at her. I was like, yeah. Then she's like, you know what? I know you have some savings. I think you should just go get a small house and go live your life.
Oh, your mom is the one who, in some ways,
Yes.
nudged you. Yeah.
Yes. She looked at me because my mom has known me all my life, and she knows the kind of person that I am and the bubbly soul that I am. But this time, my lights were out. I was a shadow of myself. And I think she saw that, and she was like, well, I know we don't have the best of relationships, but for like the 4 months before that, I had my mom for the very first time in my life. Like, I had the mom that I've always wanted. And so when she was telling me this, I felt like we were still in that bubble. And I felt like it was like the God within her was speaking out, like, you know, this is not how you should be living your life.
Remember who you are.
Yeah, yes. And it just, the light bulb went on, like, ding, like, oh yeah. And I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Then when the New York checks in, I'm going to call my former caretaker and ask him if he can help me look for a house in Kasarani, because that's where I'm familiar with. I don't want to go to a place where I have to start from scratch knowing the location, la la. At least I know where the supermarket is. I know where the soko is. I know where the clinics are. I know where, like, the things that will get me moving. So I smiled, and she's like, you know what? This isn't it. Like, just go get a small house, live your life. Iyo pesa ikiisha, it's okay. The universe will grant you, God will grant you more money from wherever.
Were you scared?
I was, but I was smiling. I was like, you know what? This is the living fearlessly. Like, I'm not sure how long those savings are going to last, because they're not a lot. It's not a lot of money. But I'm like, you know, if I died during my surgery, these people would have eaten my money, but bought whatever that makes them happy, and I would have been gone. So since I'm alive, let's use that money. At least if I die after the money, at least I'll have used my money. So that's how I thought about it. And first, I remember when January came in, I called my caretaker, my former caretaker.
Which year was this?
2023.
Yeah, so the surgery was in 2020.
2022 December.
And then in 2023 you called? Okay.
Yes, I called, and we went looking for a house, and then we got one. So I wanted to move to a 1-bedroom. And this is also another thing. I had, you're looking at your little savings and you're like, hey, these savings, if I go to a one bedroom, I'll live for this long.
Okay.
I'll manage for this long. But that is only rent. I've not calculated steamer, food, Wi-Fi, all those other things. They were not in the budget. I was looking at this money will just take me for rent. I'll just have a roof over my head for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I was looking for a one bedroom. So we go, we look, and all the one bedrooms we were finding, they're just meh. And then even because my former caretaker, he was like, if this doesn't look like you, these houses don't look like you. Don't
And
take.
you went alone, eh?
I went.
You went to the caretaker.
The caretaker and a friend of mine.
Oh,
So
okay.
they were my eyes.
The eyes, okay, yeah.
So we enter a house. And they're like, if this doesn't look like you. And so when we got to another 2-bedroom, because we're asking how hapa kuna 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom, and then we're like, okay, hapa kuna 1-bedroom, but there's also a 2-bedroom. Then we're like, let's check it out. What's the harm? Then we check it out. Like, hey, this is so nice. This is really nice. And in 2020, before I lost my sight, my goal was I need to move. I need to grow.
Okay.
Because living in a 1-bedroom is nikama I'm not growing. When my nieces come over, the
They can't sleep
logistics,
over. Okay.
they sleep over, but the logistics. So I'm like, no. And even when my brother comes over, I'm like, hey, no, I need to grow.
There needs to be some growth.
But now you're growing with a tight budget. So you're here looking at 2 bedrooms, you're like, it must be nice. Then you leave and go to the next 1-bedroom. So as we are tired, we've gone round. We're like, easy nyumba. Then we got to a place where we saw a 2-bedroom master and suite. They're like, see, we can also check out this other 2-bedroom. And I'm like, there's even a master and suite. And we're like, okay, let's see. So we checked it out, and that was where my spirit was at peace. It was like, this is it. I'm like, okay.
Did you know the amount?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was like, the amount, we'll have to adjust my savings. So instead of 12 months, we'll have to calculate to 8 months.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah. So I have 8 months to have a shelter. So let's do this. And because I'm like, I'm not going to the 1-bedrooms. We've already seen they're not like your spirit is not saying.
No, you go where your spirit.
Yeah. So and then it's like I'm having an internal dialogue, like, okay, or internal monologue. They're like, oh, but it's so expensive. It's not within my budget. They're like, but who has been budgeting you since you fell sick? Like you've not been working for the last 2 years, but you've made it to go to hospital. Okay. You've bought medication. You've always, like, there's always provision for you to function. So what makes you think that this particular moment that the universe is not having your back? Like, what makes you think that all of a sudden, because this is so big, it not
can happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like the same way it has been taking care of me, it's the same way it will take care of me. So I don't need to worry about things that are not within my control. So it's like, okay, fine. I guess if we are moving into the 2-bedroom. So I called, I made the payments later on, and I talked to the caretaker. I told him, I'm like, they were all very accommodative.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I sort of moved in end of January, and I think that was the hardest, most scared. I was scared, but I was what do you call it?
Elated.
I was fearful, but I was also
excited
and with a lot of faith. I kept reminding myself, you've gone through worse and you made it through. So this is just a shadow.
Do you think that was now the beginning? So it has been 2003 and now we are into
2023 to 2026.
So it has been 3 years.
Yes.
That was like the official new beginning of your...
Yes.
And you were like around 33 then, or
yes.
30? So 30. You began this new season. A lot of people struggle with change, or like when things happen to... Like they never know how to cross over into something new. Mm-hmm. Do you think that you have to grieve the old version of you so that you can be open to the new reality? And did you have to grieve and say goodbye to, and bury also to a certain extent, bury that version of you or that version of your dream, and then now start dreaming again?
It never goes away. The grief doesn't go away. It doesn't just magically poof. It's I've had to live with that grief of understanding that I am no longer Eve. Because I had a plan. When I was moving out, I also had a plan. I had a YouTube channel that I had started in 2021. So, in as much as I was stuck, but there was so many other moving parts in my life, yeah. So I started the YouTube channel in 2021 October, and it was going on well. 2022. Then after elections, and then things looking up, businesses opening up, film people going back to work. I sort of the people who had volunteered to start work with me for the YouTube channel, because it was sort of free. They were no longer available.
Okay.
So my plan was I move out and I sort of build my YouTube channel to the point that it can be able to sustain itself.
Okay.
But there is a expectation and versus reality. So that 2023 pulled me. It stretched me in ways that I never imagined, because I got the biggest no's that you can ever get. And, people say, yeah, sounds like a good idea. But if I'm busy, if I'm looking for money, things have been really tough. And it's when I realized everybody's living in fear, and I seem to be the only one who's living.
Fearlessly.
Yes. So, someone would tell me, hey, things are tough right now. I have bills. I'm like, but I also have bills. And they're like, oh, people, things. I'm like, you guys, do you realize I've lost my sight and I'm here trying to challenge myself to live alone? And I'm not even sure, because I wasn't sure if I will be able to. What did we say? I'm a lazy cook. So I'm just thinking, I already know how I used to live before. And now I'm blind. So there's so many things I might not be able to do again. But I'm here doing
showing
this.
Up, yeah.
Yes. So why can't you guys show up for me? And they're like, everybody has their own reasons, because that's too much faith. That's too much. Like, hey, that's...
How did you deal with the no's? And at the same time, you're grieving the old version of yourself, yeah?
I did get into, I do experience anxiety, and anxiety physiologically. I scratch all over. I have insomnia. I have migraines. And then I get my ENT, like an infection of my throat, ears, nose when I'm sleepy. Like I almost I can't breathe when I'm sleeping. And so and then there are times it's so hard to get out of bed, because you're like, namka kufanya, what am I waking up to do? There's nothing for me to do. So during that whole year, I had reading. Reading has been my anchor.
Okay.
I've been on Audible from 2022. I've been reading books from Audible. So reading helps me understand myself better, because I read all types of books, anthropologies, history. I read psychology. I read neurology. I read spirituality. I read romance. I read thrillers. And with all those stories, I see a bit of myself in it. Sometimes I see how my fear is it's sabotaging me, and how sometimes, and then you read a story and you're like, you know what? I used to do that. Oh yeah, I should do that. So it kind of reminds me when I'm failing, and it reminds me to put my best foot forward every day. And so sometimes my getting out of bed is to continue from where I left yesterday. And then also living alone helps, doing the chores, like making your bed, cleaning the house, cleaning your clothes, clean the dishes, cooking. That to do.
It brings structure.
Yes, it gives you some sense of, I have something to do today.
And let me just take you back. You, a lot of times when people talk about living fearlessly, they imagine that you're going to reach a state of existence where you're not going to be fearful at all. And I really love the way you've explained that despite the feeling, and you said you experienced feeling, you said psychologically or?
Physiologically.
Sorry, now see how I've said it in the reverse. So it's like despite having the fear, you still show up.
Yes.
I even love the way you say that you sleep and you do what you can do, because everyone thinks that living fearlessly is like this consistent, like you'll consistently be hitting the barriers, throwing yourself into danger, and sometimes it's just the little things that you're able to do despite the fear.
Yes.
Now the fear never really, I don't think the fear ever goes.
It doesn't.
And I also love the way you've talked about like the grief. Grief, and everyone has different forms or different. I think with every stage of life, there are certain things that you have to grieve.
Yeah.
And grieving is such an important emotion. I feel like a lot of people don't get in touch with that. When you're 20, you have all these dreams about your life. By the time you reach 30, that's your life has gone either better, but still there are certain things you have to grieve. And a lot of people don't sit down and say, okay, this is what I had thought my life would look like, but it's not that. Am I sad about it? How do I feel about it? Like grief is something, even when you lose a loved one, I think it's something you always carry, and it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, because it can also help you appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
But it can also help you appreciate the things that you did have at one time. It can bring value to life. And I want to ask you a very, sorry I cut you off, but I want to ask you like a question. How do you think how have you changed? How has the whole experience changed you? And both for maybe, I don't know if you want to talk about the hard parts, but also how has it changed you in a better way? Because a lot of times people think that when things happen in our lives that are not necessarily roses and colorful, that you can't be better. When I look on my life, the seasons that were the hardest created or brought out better versions of who I am. And so they were hard, but they in many ways I grew. So I don't know about your experience, and it can only be your experience. How have you observed yourself? Because I see you read a lot of books. I don't know if you used to read before or if this is a new habit, but how do you think you've changed for the better? Or how do you see, do you think that your lens is better now than it was before?
I'll start with your first thing. Yes, I've always been reading. I've always loved books. Books for my sense of fantasy, daydreaming, and living in a world. Because sometimes you're so bored.
I know.
And you're like...
Life can be boring.
Yeah. Because when you go to Shago, you're just there. The sun is there. You've already done all the things that need to be done. So books is how you get lost into like a romance, and you're like, hey, someone will sit me off my feet. And because when you look at the people, the Maasais, and they're just like... These are the guys that ndio wako, but me, I want to get lost in these other ones in the books. Number two is that yes, the fear, the awakening.
I like awakening. I like that.
Yes, the awakening doesn't happen abruptly. Like, you see, the books I've been reading, it was to keep myself afloat.
Okay.
It is to believe in a better future or a better reality than I am currently living in. It is knowing about disability of people living with, people with disability in other countries. What are they doing? How have they been able to overcome the challenges? And when you read their story, you're like, oh my gosh, I had it all wrong. And it has helped me understand that people are different. It's helped me understand neurodivergency. It has helped me understand even just different physical disabilities. There's a book called Disability Visibility by Alice Wong. It gives different essays by different persons with disability explaining their daily their daily routines. And I think there was one story that two ladies who had a brain tumor, and it changed the way their brain works, the physical brain, and they're trying to write a book and maybe share it, because now you can no longer work, you can no longer go to work. It's like your body changes the way it functions. And while reading that book, I'm like, oh yeah, so I'm not insane for feeling the way I feel. I'm not insane because I've been pushing my body to work the way it used to work before. I'm waking up in the morning, I want to work out, because I am still working with the routine that I was conditioned into. The rat race, the capitalistic rat race, that you have to work hard, so because the people who work hard are the ones who get fed. And so you have all these mantras in your head, so you keep feeling bad about yourself. You're not good enough, because hey, people who wake up at 5 a.m. are the ones who get the biggest piece of, biggest piece of cake. So you're waking up at 11, hey girl, you're doing badly. And I would really, it's an internal running clock that happens in your, and you're like, you haven't eaten at this, you've not made food, you're eating so many things. It's you're eating, it's you're not working, you're not being paid. So I used to feel so bad about myself.
So your ideologies of who you are,
Yes.
or how life should be, who should be rewarded, all of it now is being challenged.
Yes, because you're not living it anymore. And I remember one day waking up, I think this is 2024, and because of reading these stories, you start seeing there are other ways to live life.
Okay.
And they are okay as well. Because if a child is born with Down syndrome, that child might never get a job if it is in Kenya.
That's true. Yeah.
But does that mean that that child is not worthy of being alive?
No.
The universe is bigger than just the parents and the community. It's attaching you to a bigger world. And I looked at myself and I'm like, you know what? Somehow people are just being brought from all walks of life to take care of me. So why am I so worried about these bills? And why am I putting myself down because I'm not able to wake up at 5 a.m.? What am I waking up to do at 5 a.m.? I'm not beating traffic. I'm waking up and I have things to do. Today, when I have the things to do, make my bed, make sure this house is clean. And then I sat down, I'm like, girl, first of all, you're blind. You're no longer sighted. So stop comparing yourself to the sighted Eve. You're no longer her. This is the new you. So start creating the kind of life and journey you want for this new Eve, not the one that you used to be.
Was that part of letting go of that, that version of Eve and trying to now redefine her again?
Because when you read now, there's also a book about called The Girl Who Fell from the Sky by Emma Carey. So this girl went for skydiving experience, and then she fell. The parachute did not take off, so she ended up being paralyzed. And she was 21, and she's like, she'd known life in a certain way, and now you have to start looking for, okay, what am I supposed to do from here on? She was supposed to go to college. She was supposed to do things. She had a boyfriend. So when you read other people's stories and see the kind of like how they take on their mantle and start living their different lives, you start seeing, you know what? I've been pushing, I'm trying to compare myself to people who are not living my life. Even if we are blind, we are not blind. They didn't go to the same schools. They didn't have the same parents. They didn't have the same experiences that I have. They don't have the same talent. So why am I living somebody else's life? So I had to start defining. I'm still in that process of defining what do I want my life to look like.
How have you defined your purpose for the season? Because I know you are a film maker, you are a business lady, and you're just doing your own hustles. Now, what do you do, or what do you see for your future? How have you redefined your purpose?
So 2024, I was still fighting for Blind Girl Experience, trying to get a crew to help me film. And
Blind Girl Experience, is
yes,
that
the
your
YouTube channel.
Okay.
So I still wanted to do it. I had all this, the idea of how big it could be, because my purpose for me was to inspire somebody else who feels stuck. It's like I want to tell you my story, and I want my story to help you carry on, and we're going to do this together. Just don't think you're alone in this. But like I said, expectation versus reality. People weren't seeing my dream. And there's a quote Lisa Nicole says, your dream is you're the one who's pregnant with your dream. When you're pregnant, nobody knows how the child looks like. They all just imagine.
Yeah.
And they are not the ones carrying that pregnancy. They don't know what cravings, how your back feels. You're the only one who's carrying that pregnancy. So up until you birth it is when people will borrow into you. Like they will,
Because it's tangible.
yes,
They can see it.
yes, and they can hold it and they can take turns. But so long as it's in your womb, it's only yours. So at first I felt like that's when, I was still trying to run the rat race. But then I stopped, and I think in 2025 is when I took a back seat, and it was one of those, like I said, it became very hard when someone asked me, so what do you do? I'm like,
Yeah.
I just chill. I'm alive. I read books.
You're not doing the Blind Girl Experience anymore? You've taken a break now.
I've taken a break. It has taken, not I have taken a break. It has taken a break.
Uh-huh.
It's not, there's so many things that are happening even without my control. And so I had to come to terms with it. It's almost like having, like you have a child and then the child dies at 2. It's not your fault. It was just their time. So I had to like sit down and ask myself, okay, does it change my identity? Because is that my identity that if Blind Girl Experience, the YouTube channel that is not there, it means there's something that I have lost my identity. So I started just living a day at a time, taking the steps that I need to take. Sometimes I'm invited like to a podcast like this and get to share my experiences with the books that I read. I have a book club. I have a foundation. I registered a foundation where
What's the foundation for?
It's called Insight Unseen. And with the foundation, it's my way of fulfilling, like it fulfills me in a way that I'm able to share my experience with other people. Because before, with Blind Girl Experience, it was a YouTube channel. It needs people to see, to watch. But this one, with my foundation, is I get people to experience. So we've done...
because I think there's an interesting concept around it.
Yes, so it's because you get a lot of, how do you do that? How do you do this? And I'm like, I don't know how to explain, because it's a wonder. So I started curating events where we call it blind expressions, where people get to do activities blindfolded. So we've done walk in the dark, we've done dance in the dark, we've done art in the dark. So how I've been able to redefine my identity is that I've been able to see myself better, because I'm able to accept me and receive me as I am, instead of what I want people to see or what I think I should be. So, because when you're blindfolded, you start seeing your inside. Like, you start seeing all those things you've been ignoring about yourself.
There's no noise anymore.
Yes.
There's no distraction.
Yes. You now see yourself. And if you are insecure about the way you look, that's a conversation that's happening inside your mind. If you're insecure about losing control, that's a conversation that is in your mind. It's not even about the activity itself. It's mostly about the conversation that's been happening in your mind, but you've been ignoring it.
Let me like just stop there. That's very, very powerful.
Yeah.
as long as we are walking around and we are busy and we are doing all these things, there are certain conversations that are happening inside us that are important, and we probably need to deal with them that we don't deal with because we are distracted by what is going on around.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So with blind expressions, you get to experience that activity, but now blindfolded. And when you walk in the dark, you realize that it's not about the walking in the walking itself. It's actually, are you willing to let somebody guide you? You willing to believe that that person will guide you the best way? Do you even know how to communicate? Do you know how to tell somebody go right? Do you understand directions? And also just small and big things that are happening in your mind, because our biggest issues or fear is within us. It's not outside. It's not an external being. It's inside us. And when you're blindfolded is when it's the best time to let go.
Surrender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now somebody else has to guide you, and you have to believe that that person is going to take you to where you need to be. It's when you let somebody even use your phone. Because I remember that experience was very scary for me. I'm like, when they see how much money I have on my M-Pesa, will they do something
Because today when you
sinister?
today when you came with the Uber, you're there with your phone, like, and you're dialing the numbers, and the phone is telling you. And I think it's a very vulnerable. You almost in a it's not intentional, but you find yourself in a very vulnerable situation. But you have to trust
Yes.
you have to trust the processor.
Yes.
And it's very interesting, the recurring theme that a lot of the guests have been talking about when it comes to living fearlessly is surrender. It's
Yes.
like you cannot live fearlessly if you are not able to surrender. And I think that's the same theme that is even recurring in the discussions that we are having now about surrender.
Yeah.
And just trusting the process that
Yes.
you will get to where you need to be. Yeah, you don't have to know everything. Yeah.
Yes. Because the one thing that I have learned, and I usually share that with my friends, I'm like, the universe is bigger than you. Like, there is you. Okay, this is a whole other topic, but you came into this world with like a blueprint. You chose to come here, and you're here now, and you believed that the universe has got your back. So there's so many things we don't sign like a contract for the sun to rise every morning.
And it rises.
We don't sign a contract for rain to come. We don't sign for contracts for the wild trees to grow. These things happen whether we like it or not, whether we are bad in our own moral standards or we are good. Things happen. Birds will still chirp. Like when I lost my sight, I remember there was a time I was just seated outside my sister's house, and the cats were playing, and the birds were chirping, and the sky was still. I could tell the sun because I had a very small glimpse of like light. So you can tell the sun is on that side. I could tell the hanging lines, and I'm like, life is going on.
How dare it continue?
At that time, I was like, man, why do you think we are so much in control? Like, you think that at you, when you are angry the whole day, the world stops. It will not stop. It still continues. You're the one who's angry.
No, that's true. That's very true.
So you have to let go. You have to let go and believe that the universe has got your back. And the minute you do that, things start aligning. So many beautiful things happen, and you're like, I don't even know how that happened. Like someone calls you, someone you haven't talked to even in 10 years. Oh, Eve, I saw your Facebook post. Like, okay, you even have my number. Like, yeah. And I just wanted, I'll be coming to Kenya and I just want to see you. And you're like, okay. So you meet. And they're like, how can I be there for you? And you're like, okay.
Are you active on social media?
Yeah, I do posts on Facebook. I'm active on X a lot. And LinkedIn.
And what is how can people find you if they want to follow you?
So Facebook, I'm Eve Kibare. LinkedIn, I'm still Eve Lynn Kibare. Twitter, I am at Eve Kibs, EVEKIBZ. Yes.
And so when people see you on this platform, they reach out to you, or
Yeah, in fact, actually, Facebook and LinkedIn is just protocol. It's like this. It's for the. It's for your. It's for the. I don't know. I find it a bit. They're a bit stuck up. Like people who are just.
No, it
They're
is.
stuck in their
It's,
ways.
yeah.
But X, I've actually gotten very interesting people. I've actually even dated people from X.
Okay. No, it's good to know that you're you're meeting people and you're
Yes.
dating and your life is vibrant.
Yes.
You're doing the blind girl experience is on hold, but it doesn't mean it won't come back.
Yeah.
You're doing your book club. How many times do you meet?
Every month.
Every month, and
Yeah.
do you choose the books?
Everyone gets to choose a book every month.
Do you meet physically or online?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have also your foundation. Is there anything else you're dating? You're enjoying your dating life? Anything else? And even just as we are coming to an end of the for the interview, I just wanted to find out, like, for you experienced the blindness and it made you stuck. A lot of people, it can be job loss, it can be the end of a marriage, it can be the death of a baby, the death of a parent, like the transition, the kind of change that is unexpected or unplanned, that causes grief and forces you to have to reach down inside of you. Every one of us will experience these things. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give someone who is still in the season where they're stuck? They're still maybe not wanting to grieve, or they're struggling to transition. What would be your word of advice? And I know that it's a learning process, because none of us have reached. And even when I asked you, from your experiences, you've told that it's a progress. Like, it's something that you're constantly doing, but you're on your way. What advice would you give someone who is stuck?
First, I would say have time with yourself, and ask yourself, what is it that comes naturally to you. It could be anything. It could be, for me, it was talking and telling stories. Like, after losing my sight, people call me and we stay on the phone for 4 hours, 6 hours. It's unbelievable. And I'm like, yo, we've been talking for 6 hours. And so I realize it's a gift, because a lot of people don't even have that patience. So, and it's the people want to hear you. People want to hear what you have to say. And for me, that's profound, because it's not, people may take it for granted, but for me, I don't take it for granted, because it's not work. We're not talking work. This is somebody who's taken time out of their day to talk to me, and we have a conversation going back and forth, right? So you may there's something that comes naturally to you. Some people, it's giving, and they give through cooking food. Some people, it is laughing, and they just love, creating spaces where they can laugh and have fun. Some people, it's just they're creative in a way that they're always creating small games, big games, with children, with adults, with grandparents, whatever. There's something that comes naturally to you, and it's just a you gift. Use that as your anchor to be able to relate to the world. It will be like the sunshine in the storm, right? Another thing is to practice gratitude every single day.
Like that.
Because when you practice gratitude, it changes your brain pattern in not to always not to become a pessimist, but to become an optimist. When you see how far you've come, when you see the things you've been able to achieve, when you're able to appreciate even your health, even where you are, it's at the beginning, it's very, very tough. Like, you're like, I have nothing to be grateful for. But you do, you're breathing. Yeah. Just that breath getting inside and outside without a ventilator, without a machine, you're just doing it freely. it's a gift. It's something to be grateful for. And if it becomes very hard sometimes, you can even start a gratitude jar. Just write one thing you're grateful for and put it in a jar every day. And then after 30 days, read it. Read the things that you're grateful. It will change your pattern. It will change yourself, your inside. You'll start finding something to live for because you realize there's so many good things that have been happening in your life. You've just not been cognizant of them because you're so focused on the things that are not working. So gratitude does help a lot. And then find moments to meditate, and meditate depending on your belief system. For me, meditation, breathing exercises has helped me. I remember you saying today I was very calm. Before, I would have panicked with you. I would have completely like gone over the rails. I'd be like, no, it's you. Like I would have found I'd become very defensive. But I'm like, you know what? Everything is just going to flow. Let me just sour. You've said I need to hurry up. Let me hurry up. And I breathe in as I'm doing it. So remembering to breathe. It could be your meditation. How just remembering to breathe. It helps calm your whole nervous system and help you just move a step at a time and think like a bird. I mean, birds don't sit down and think about
they
KRA
don't.
taxes. They don't. They don't think about, oh, but where am I going to get food today? They just chirp and, think, that's a spot. Those are seeds. Hey, I think I need those seeds. So if you think of you are part of the creation, you're not the only creation. You're part of this system. You're part of the universe. You're part of a grand, beautiful thing. So make your life beautiful in the way you can.
Yeah.
Even if it's just waking up and stretching, that is your way of making your day beautiful. Do it.
Yeah.
If it is dancing in the shower naked, just dancing and, feeling very great about yourself, do it. Just make sure that every single day you do one thing that brings you joy.
Okay, I love you. I love having you around. This has been such a very inspiring and motivational interview. I do hope that for our listeners that you've had something that will inspire you. As Eve has said, who feeds the birds? I think there's a verse I think in Matthew that says God is the one who feeds the birds. And I hope that you will be inspired. I hope that you'll be ignited to pursue something that maybe you've been scared about, whether it is change, whether it is growth, whatever you need to do. Thank you so much. See you next time.